be called Jfk Stranger Things. Well, there's a TV show called Stranger Things, but I don't really watch it. But I thought I'd just do Stranger Things because there are Stranger Things about JFK. But anyway, just I'm gonna go over some stuff here. There was one about him being, well, let's just say, gay. Yeah, JK's best friend. Oh, there we go. Here it is. So that's JFK with a guy with the name of Lem Billings. I don't know about you, but isn't that the most weirdest thing you've seen? Yeah. I mean, look, here's one. I mean, yeah, you're best friends, but does any best friend do? Does any man does that to another man? I mean, imagine if it was a woman to a woman, you would think they were gay. Same thing here. I mean, it looks like they're gonna have a smooch. I mean, come on. I mean, for me, this does defeat the idea that JFK was into. I mean, I know there was a report that I know it's been alleged he had affairs with women, particularly Marilyn Monroe. But then, if you go real deep, you realise maybe that's not the case, because I mean, they say he's inverted, but that's another story. Let me just see if anyone here. I'm gonna just share the link so people can just check me out right now. Okay. I mean, I am planning on at some point doing a live on. Today I was. Oh, come on! I was talking to a friend of mine from the truth community on Facebook Messenger. Marisa, I was talking to her. Shout out to Marisa. She's having a nice. Hold on a second. Let me just. Yeah, I'm gonna copy that link. So I just want to get people alerted that I'm alive. Let me just. X. See, I get irritated with my phone. Come on, man. Let me tweet, man. Flipping. Damn it. Alright, now I can tweet. Because I just want to make sure people know I'm live. That's why I do it like this. Okay. I have to delete parts of the link because they keep that other link on by design to track you. Apparently, that's what they do. Because she said she might come if she's not asleep. Yeah, I've seen her yesterday. So I'm not going to plan on deleting this. So yeah, she's important post stream. Yeah, that's another strange thing, and let's go over some stuff about some of the basics of John F. Kennedy. He was the 35th president. Okay, JFK, John F. Kennedy. Oh, flipping heck, man. It says here he was the 35th president of the United States. He was assassinated on 1963, November 22nd. Now, 35 is important. I mean, I did do a decode once of the JFK assassination. I wish I didn't delete the video, because at the time I was just, you know, I don't know if I want to even consider the idea that was all staged. Well, at the moment I'm still 50-50 until sometimes is because JFK is really, I mean, to me JFK might be the biggest hoax of all time, because it's the one event that has fooled so many people. Now, he's the 35th president, so the word Catholic in gematria equals 35. 35. Hence, JFK is a Catholic and he's the 35th president. JFK. What's JFK equal? JFK equals 54. Like the word Jesuit order, which is 54. Okay, John F. Kennedy. There's one thing I know: these people don't come to power simply because they are special or some kind of talent. Although they might have some kind of talent, but they are there because they are put there by the deep state or shadow government. So in Latin reduction equals 56. I mean, given that we've got the kind of Catholic or Jesuit connection, Society of Jesus is 56 as well. 56. JFK assassination, because that's what we're talking about. Equals 84. Mentioned that I read about 54 Jesuit order. 54. I know someone scrutinized me for why do you do the Jesuit order? Well, it's because if you know you've already painted a, it's simply because if you got established that he has connections to the Jesuits, and you're trying to make that connection, you got to adjust the wording or phrasing, because that's what you're doing. I mean, look, even with the Jesuit order, you still get 54 in Chaldean cipher. So I already mentioned about 54 before. So yeah, the Jesuit order equals 54, and the JFK assassination equals 84. I mean, the word hoax, because we're saying the whole thing was a hoax, right? Hoax is 44, hence the word kill, which is 44 in relation to JFK. I know this is, I mean, because what it is, most of the people in the Jewish community, most of them, I'm going to say most because it is most, are going to say that he was not killed. He was killed. He was assassinated by the deep state. They're going to say that, and that is something people are not going to accept easily, because they've been conditioned to the point where they're going to conditioned by the alternative media to accept that he was killed, because there's been so much literature written about him being killed. I'm going to put it here as well so people know I'm live. I always get concerned if there's no one on, because I do try to make an effort somewhat to have people in. I referenced two people that you should follow. Miles Mathis is one, Google him, and this article that I read online as well. So a bit of gematria there. And we're going to go back to the article itself. I mean, I got a PDF version of this, so I thought I'll just get a PDF. Okay. I'm skipping a bit, so I do apologize. I'm just going to find the relevant picture. Alright, this is what I wanted to mention. I've already mentioned this, but I want to mention this. Now, this is videos on Google, sorry, YouTube, so you can find it. It shows them backing off. And it says here, as the motorcade assembled and began rolling away from the crowd and into the highway. Secret Service man Henry Rybka, who was running alongside the presidential limousine, was called back by Emery Roberts, the ranking agent in the motorcade. On the extant video, Rybka expresses his confusion by turning his palms up, gesturing with his arms, seemingly dismayed by this order to back off. The word Orders 33. He then gingerly climbs into Secret Service car, trailing the president by a car length. All of this is captured by the live video broadcast, with the commentator continuing on with remarks about the difficulty the Security Service faces when the president appears in public. 5 cars back, the press travelled by bus, unable to see the presidential limousine. So that's interesting. So they didn't see it. See the limousine. This ineffective position was deliberate, as reporters on the ground may have been in the dark regarding the plot to mock stage the assassination. It wasn't as if they hadn't been vetted earlier by their corporate overlords, even if the reports were carefully pruned by editors to keep the sanctioned reality that passes for news on point. They had to be documented as too far back from the shooting, so they would not be forced by the public or investigators to tell the truth of what they saw. So I do apologise if I stuttered, but I used to stutter when I was younger. Though I got over it, it still happens a bit quite often. After all, the only way this ruse would pass muster was if the fiction of an objective press held in the public's mind. If the reporters didn't see anything, they would not be compelled by the masters to lie. Photographs evading internal security were taken at an earlier date, with a crowd of cast actors in a controlled area, just like on location movie set. That's what I'm saying, it's a movie set. These photos were then discovered by years after the fact. The presidential party had been pasted on. Alright, I'm not going to read this whole thing. I'm just going to get to the interesting bit here. In the film footage by Abraham Zapruder, the limousine makes a slow and difficult left turn onto Elm Street as Zapruder starts burning film. He pans right with his 8mm camera, holding the limousine barely in frame as the bullets whiz by. He gets the money shot of Jericho's brains being blown out with the president. Already winning the frame by the looks of things, is cheeked by Joel with his wife, who appears startled and confused. The film continues with Jackie climbs up above. I'm going to read all that. So you see what happens, right? The rest is history. A sizable number of researchers conclude that the film is forgery. That's what they're saying. Numerous alarms appear in the film, from mismatched shadows to the height of some of the scattered bystanders appearing to have been over 7 feet tall. Suspects are utilizing travelling mathis to reposition to the limo and change its speed to contradict everyone's witnesses who claim the limo came to a brief stop. This film also reveals odd restrictions of cell bystanders on some who move faster than humanly possible or seem oblivious to the presence of the limousine. One aspect of the film that is absolutely no comment is that if there were multiple shooters, including one forward and to the president's right, situated behind the picket fence atop the grassy knoll and presumably author of the facial headshot, did the plotters feel that Mrs. Kennedy was acceptable collateral damage should any of the shooters, especially the one behind the fence, miss and hit the First Lady? Okay, that's Jackie Kennedy. For those you don't know. Okay, I'm going to screenshot her because I'm going to do, let's just say, something forensic about her. Let's just say I'm not sure. I don't think who she says she is. I mean, she's known as the First Lady, but is she really the First Lady? Alright, so there's 2 in the chat, so please message me. I love to hear from you. Alright, let me get back here. At the time, Jackie Kennedy was the most famous, glamorous and sympathetic woman in the world. Yeah, right. Sympathetic. The trip to Dallas was her first public appearance since the death of her infant child 7 months earlier. The tour through Texas has reinforced her star power and the affection the country had for her. If not for her husband's policy, what impact would her wounding or disfigurement of death have on populace, especially women? A recreation of fiction as sold as fact, as with religious figures, the historicity of JFK himself would one day will be questioned. This is the mind bender's largest type of con, staging a false reality to see the false history that follows that can be demolished at any time, collapsing the fictional paradigm that holds people together. That's the key thing. Fictional paradigm that holds people together. So that's why we're fucked. Even now, 2024, people know that the whole versus left versus right is phony. You know, they know that, Democrats and Republicans, they know it's phony. But despite this, they still think their vote matters. They still think someone like Donald Trump, who's got endorsements now from Tulsi Gabbard, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., they think now this is great now because look, he's challenging the establishment. But all you're doing is you're literally keeping it going. What needs to be done is people need to stop following the paradigm, but unfortunately people don't want it. They just want to believe the lies. This is what here. 40 plus years later, pristine footage of the limousine and its occupants surface. This is a standard point in such hoaxes, completely reliant on photographic evidence to sell the fiction. The grainy originals give way to vibrant new releases of update the lies. Along with motion picture, self-still cameras were employed to capture the event. The two most important of these stills are the Outguns No. 6 and Mormon Polaroid. There was something I wanted to go over. It was there was suggesting that I can't find it. It relates to the Secret Service. They're saying that they might have switched. Let me find the word switch. It relates to they try to switch. They might have switched limousines, is what they're saying. Sorry, what you're saying. Oh, here we go. That didn't take long. Stupid. Oh, I lost it. Bloody hell! Where is it? I thought I had it. I thought I had it. Switch. Oh, come on, man. Flipping heck. Get away from me. Get away. Go. After the size of the crowds, as they pulled away from the love field and prior to the motorcade approaching the first crowds that lined the street, the switch was made and actors took over as the President, First Lady, Governor Connolly and his wife, Melanie. An identical limousine with the actors on board positioned itself within the motorcade, likely around the corner, briefly out of view of the precipice and trailing vehicles. So what they're saying is, so I do recall watching that footage myself. I think I watched it in a film, a documentary, JFK movie or JFK documentary, assassination one. That yeah, they do have that. They do take that weird turn, and you can't see. There's a certain area where you just can't see what's happening. So the idea for them switching, it seems possible. So here it is. An identical limousine with the actors. So just want to go further back before I read this. They're saying, I mean, that footage about the footage where the security services are supposedly backing away from the limousine. It's more like they're basically saying, "Oh, we got to make a switch." So the real Kennedys and you know, and colonies, they disappeared without a trace, and they just placed the crisis actors and had them be there. So here, an identical limousine with the actors on board positions itself within a motorcade, likely around the corner. So that's what I meant about that turn, around the corner, briefly out of view. They were out of view of the press, bus, and trailing vehicles. The genuine president and his party vanished, surrounded by other vehicles guiding the limo down a cordoned-off street devoid of witnesses. So so they switched it. Made the switch. As the motorcade wounds its way through the streets of downtown Las Camas Road, along with professional news cameras, many amateur cameras captured as part of the procession, the evidence of an actual motorcade riding through town was established. So it could be that they weren't watching anything; they was watching a dead end. That's what I'm saying. Just hold on a sec. Just having a bit of a Lucozade. I'm thirsty. But like I keep stressing, I'm not 50-50 on whether this whole thing was a hoax, but I'm looking into it. I think the final thing to convince me, I'm just checking if anyone else is around. I just want to get them here. I think the final nail in the coffin is going to be when Industry Hoax Revealed does a documentary on it. I think he is trying to do a documentary on it, but he just keeps not being able to complete it because he's finding it hard. I mean, he wants to like perfect it so that it becomes it all seems like on Thursday I have less people watching, so that can be frustrating. But then again, I just gotta get on with it, as they say. King. I did have one before. I think I mentioned that before. I'm trying to find the other mathis one. Just trying to find it. Basically, I'm just trying to find that. I mean, it's longer than the one I was reading. I mean, he does say a lot of things. He does say like a lot of things about the Hidden King is called the Hidden King. Yeah, he's alleging that rational Ricky. I know there's a website called Rational Ricky. They just go after anyone. Yeah, he's just trying to say, oh, he's full of shit. But then again, but I mean, I've read his stuff. He's not as crazy as people make out, or you know, just downright mad. But he's not mad. Where is it? Where is it? Hidden Kings. Yeah, it's called Hidden Kings. I thought I downloaded it, but I just can't. I can't seem to find it on my phone. Hidden Kings. Because that's what it's called, Hidden King. Yeah, I downloaded it because well, it says I already got one, but I can't find it. All right, bar index. Is that what it's called? Bar index. Alright, bar. Okay, I might have better luck finding it. It's called bar index. Bar index. It's called bar index. Again, I can't find it. Alright, documents. It's gonna be this. It's gotta be there somewhere. There it is. That's the one. Kennedy fake death, fake hoaxed. Now his conclusions is that they've been running the country since the fake assassination underground, but I tend to disagree with that. I don't think that's the case, but he's right to. I mean, he is somewhat right to say that it was staged. I mean, he asked the questions that most Jfk researchers don't ask. If Kenny was surrounded by such a pack of jackals hungry for his blood, why would he go onto their turf, ride through it in broad daylight in an open car, on uncontrolled tall buildings? Why would it do it without stopping normal traffic in downtown? As there was normal traffic going in the opposite direction. Commerce. You can see the cars in the background as a Zapruder. So he's got some interesting questions here. We all know that Kennedy wasn't stupid. He was not naive. In that famous speech that the alternative theorists love to play, Kennedy warns of a secret government asks for our help. Does the same man who gave that speech allow himself to be put in an open car in an uncontrolled emergency city with a bullseye on his head? Of course not. One of the most influential alternative theory films after JFK is a multi-part documentary first aired on History Channel called The Man Who Killed Kennedy. Notice that we have a mainstream channel selling the conspiracy theory. Well, that's another thing that people need to look at. Why is it that conspiracy that we know about are often put on television? JFK, Diana, ancient aliens. I mean, that's another one. That's big on the History Channel. They love to put on that shit, don't they? Same for the UFOs. They love to put on that, don't they? Oh crap! What I do? Yeah. So page 4. It's 88 pages, so it's not going to be hard to get through all of it. It says here. The documentary somehow obtained access to a lot of obscure FBI evidence. Also note the History Channel is a known intelligence front created specifically to propagandize its viewers. I have no intention of critiquing this film point for point, even as a whole. I want to point out one scene from it. In Miami, in Miami, the FBI infiltrated plans of an assassination attempt. Simply as we are told, Plotters were captured on audio tape, and in the film, the agents themselves see how they planted the recording devices in which house. Then we listen to the tape from October '63. The key moment is when the bad guy asks the spy, "Do you know how many body doubles the president has here?" Most people don't pause on that. It made my head turn. The man does not ask if there are body doubles, but how many. Of course, the president travels with body doubles. The alternative theorists now push the idea with Saddam Hussein, since according to many of them, Hussein is not dead. In fact, I think it's very likely that Hussein is not dead. He's talking about Saddam Hussein. The film of Hussein's dead looked fake. Well, obviously, for years I believed that they killed him. They killed him. We've seen the video, but now, looking deeper, it's obviously not the case that he was killed. Because Saddam Hussein was a long time intelligence asset, so they could have retired him, literally. Hello, Patricia. So nice to see you. How you doing? Yeah, much respect and much adoration to you. As always, you come here. Yeah, I am talking about JFK, Stranger Things. Went over other things about him. You know, his best friend. Some of the weird pictures with his best friend, like some kind of couple. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're in the United States, Patricia. It seems like people worship. Well, worship's not the right word, but it seems to worship Kennedy. I mean, is this how they get us? They create these stories. Same with MLK as well, that these people were on our side, but then you look deeper and you realise it wasn't. I mean, Malcolm X, I know there's a mixed view about him, but there's even the suggestion that even he was another agent as well. So it's kind of like, you know, why do they fake these assassinations? Which is one question. Why do they fake them? I mean, that's the question. Why do they fake them? What's that? Theories that RFK Jr. might be JFK Jr. in disguise. I know you got the whole celebrity prosthetic thing, but that's one area I've looked into. I've looked into stuff like is Princess Diana, Melania Trump, is Trump Elvis. I looked into these things, and I did look into it quite a bit. Yeah, I did, but obviously there's no harm in saying, you know what, I don't know. I really don't know, is what I'm going to say, because I do worry sometimes. That people do put out misinformation as well. When they say ridiculous ones. I mean, there's the one about O.J. Simpson being The Rock, or The Rock was O.J. Simpson. I'm not saying they can't do it, but I'm just thinking, why would it be so obvious to us? No, I do think. Sorry, I just burped this now. So I do think there's some validity to, for example, the one about Megyn Kelly being Nicole Brown Simpson. I think there's validity there because the resemblance is ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. The resemblance. I mean, there's even like, you know, pictures of make her without makeup, and she does look older than her age. I suppose that's how they fooled you, innit? Yeah. So there's that. Well, I just brought up about Megyn Kelly. Funny thing is, yeah, she addressed it in her news broadcast.
Near the end, and died believing that.
This program is about internet mysteries.
We are in no way claiming the events to be true, but they might be. What you are about to see is not a
Industry hoax revealed. I encourage people to check it out. For me, it's the best channel out there. I don't care what anyone says. It is the best channel out there because he really shows how the world is truly a stage, literally a stage, a Hollywood type stage.
News broadcast. This version of Unsolved Mysteries is intended to help others think outside of mainstream.
In this episode of Industry Hoaxes You Decide, we will look into the case of a fake event we covered. Going back to the Simpson case, the Industry Hoax released a video in 2015 titled, "Is Megyn Kelly Really Nicole Brown?" Now we will take a better look at this bizarre case. Is it a new identity? Or was she in our faces the entire time? We will compare facial features, voice, and more. Maybe you have the answers. Join me on this episode of Industry Hoaxes You Decide.
I had to pause that because I don't know if you noticed there's this suggestion with McVeigh. McVeigh's alive. Now, I think someone else mentioned that as well. James Corbett of the Corbett Report. I think he mentioned it. But Timothy McVeigh again, possibly, yeah. I would have ruled out the possibility that McVeigh's alive. That's it. But I need to revisit that video actually, because that's possible anyway. Okay, let me go back here. And by the way, Industry Hoax, he's a very skilled filmmaker, so he's using like some kind of AI technology to bring Robert Stack back to life. I mean, Robert Stack's been long dead, right? Kind of a shame that the guy died. He's got a very unique voice in how he presents Unsolved Mysteries, which was based in America. I'm sure you know Unsolved Mysteries is, right? So it's very cleverly done.
There are many theories that Nicole Brown may have a new identity, and now goes by the name Megyn Kelly, a journalist and media personality. You may know her from the Megyn Kelly Show, a host and correspondent.
I do apologize if about that battery charger keeps popping up. Hopefully, I'm gonna switch my engine off now. Hopefully, I'm gonna get a new phone soon. Hopefully, we'll sort it out.
With NBC News from 2017 to 2018. We also have the possibility that Nicole Brown is actually her sister Denise Brown. We will compare Megyn Kelly to Nicole Brown and Denise to see if it's possible. Let's start with Denise and Nicole.
Nicole Brown Simpson was allegedly born on May 19, 1959, in Frankfurt, West Germany to Juditha Ann Judy Brown. She was the second of 4 daughters. Their father was a captain in the Air Force. He allegedly died July 5, 2014.
Okay, red flag. Her father was in the Air Force, so they always seem to have these famous stars being the sons or daughters, or inverted, of people who cater to the military. It's always typical.
It is said that he had Alzheimer's near the end, and died believing Nicole was still alive. But oddly, there is an article that has been removed. Ever noticed Nicole's sister Denise Brown looks just like her? Strangely enough, there have been no or very few pictures of Denise Brown from the 1990s or before.
Early photographs of Denise, Nicole's sister, are strangely absent or hard to find. This absence fuels the speculation and deepens the mystery surrounding the event. The videos claiming to be the sisters playing as kids offer no proof. There's no indication that suggests those are Nicole and Denise. As we know, they could be anyone. Why are there so few images from Denise's youth? What secrets might they hold? The few available photos of Denise Brown are not without their own issues.
Let's compare the overall lighting. Why is Denise in a different light than everyone else? The resolution of Denise
Okay, that's just an example there. Yeah, that was just an example, right? Megan Kelly and Nicole Brown seems to be the same person. Now there are some things that are plausible because they do. They certainly have like a similar voice and similar looks and height. But it's kind of interesting, yeah. In the later of the video, Megan is literally addressing the conspiracy theory about her. It kind of seems surprising she would even talk about it on TV. She could have just put on. She could have just said. She could have just dismissed it entirely on Twitter and that's it. But no, she puts it on her show talking about, oh, am I Nicole Brown Simpson? Strange things. All right, I'm gonna go now. Thanks for joining me, Patricia. Anyone here? See you soon. I'm gonna do Rumble at some point, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I still don't know if I'm going to do it or not, but I'll let you know beforehand. I'll write it in community post if I do.